So hello, welcome to the start of pack number 10. So this is issue 63 onwards. Now this pack may be one of the best organised packs I've ever seen, in that there's 7 parts to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, 7, and they are split into boom reel, aerial lower midsection, aerial upper midsection, and then we're adding the ladder guides and cables. Every 2 sections, every 2 issues, you're moving on to something else. So I'm going to split this pack straight into 2. So you're getting 4 episodes today, which is going to be the boom reel and the aerial lower midsection. And I've had a quick browse of the magazine. I think it's going to grow quite quickly, rather nicely. So let's see how I get on. So this is stage 63, the right boom reel. Now I have lifted the camera up a little bit. You can't see the truck, you can just see the bottom of it there. It's not going to be needed for at least 6 episodes. So let's start off as always with a parts checklist. And I've not organised my instructions properly. So bad me. So we have got a bearing cap. Now, bear with me, you know how these parts go. A lot of these are kind of a process of elimination thing. You'll get parts that look very similar, and then you think you know what they are, and they turn out to be something else. So, the bearing cap could be this piece. It's a white round bit. No, that's not. That's the bearing cap. Can we have a focus? And then this is the bearing shaft, because it's a bit more shaft-like. We then have a boom reel part A and part B. Now these look the same apart from the fact that one wheel is, one hole in the middle is bigger. And then we have a ladder bracket and a reel support, and then a reel bracket, and then we have 4 C type screws and 3 B type screws. I'm going to leave those in the bag. If there are any left at the end of the 2 issues, I will just pop them into my little container. So where to begin? So we start assembling the boom reel. Take the boom reel parts A and part B, and note they both look different on each side. Prepare the parts shown in picture 1 will face each other. 2 faces are flat apart from the centres. So that means they just go in like that. So it says they're flat. Oh, flat inside face. So that's the flat inside face. I don't know what's going on with my camera focus today. Maybe if I bring it down a little bit. So that's the flat inside faces. To be honest with you, this angle is a little bit better for me because I can see the PC better. Right, so take the reel bracket and note that there is a smaller hole, insert left. So you've got a big hole there and a small one there, and that, I'm guessing that that's the larger hole on there, and that's the smaller hole on the other side, or perhaps not. Right, here you can see the, right, there we go, it is trying to catch. There is a ridge inside the boom reel like that. There's a ridge that must align with the larger hole. Yeah, which it does. So basically this bit is level, the same size as that hole, and that is larger, but that doesn't fit into it, it just fits on it, if that makes sense. Right, fit the bearing cap into the larger hole like so, Now all of a sudden it doesn't want to go because I've got it all out of line. I see. So if you look in there, there's a little tiny... There's a bit of a ridge. There. And that will line up with the flat bit on here. So we get that lined up. We get the flat bit lined up. That's why I couldn't get it in the first time. So get it as close as you can and then just keep rotating it. There we go. Until it locks into place. And then we need to get the shaft cap on the opposite side. And we push that in. And that's in. That is done. So the boom reel has now been fitted to the bracket. And we need to take the reel bracket can now be fitted to the reel support. Now I can't see the orientation. I can see that there is the problem I have with the instructions is that it's white on white, but I think this is going in that way around. That looks comfortable. Yes. So we have got a locating peg. Oh, what's going on? So we've got a locating peg, a screw hole in the middle and a square tab. We've got a hole there for the locating peg, a hole there for screw and a cutout there for the square there. And that is going to be secured, I guess, yes, with a type B screw. So let's try and get one. Oh, it looks like I've been lying to you guys. We do need the actual assembly, the actual fire truck. It looks like this is going to be fitted. Right, so screw into there. Oh, that's having a little bit of trouble getting started, but once it goes in, it's fine. So that's going to rotate like that. And then we need to get the truck in. So it means I'm afraid I'm going to have to move the camera. So move that up and around. No, we're going to move the truck around. I think that will be easier. So somewhere round about here. Oh, that just fell off. We had a feeling it would, didn't we? So somewhere round about here, this is going to go on. Right. So the assembly from step 11 will fit onto the underside of the boom at the fixing point shown. Now, I'm going to have to move the camera this way, which means I'm going to reveal quite a lot of my room. So this is my messy desk. I do apologise, guys. So there's a fixing point there. Now, exactly how it fits on, there we go. It's going to go on like that. Gotcha. I think. Right. So we have one hole, two lugs, two holes. It's going to go. The two holes in the middle are going to line up with those. There's a hole there and two holes there, I think. And then we're going to fix the screws. God, this is actually more complex than it looks. Right. Now, I would love to try and get some lighting under here, but I don't have any. I don't think that's going to fit. Let's see if I'm going to have to move the truck around so I can work from this side. It's definitely going on here because I can see points of familiarity, but that really doesn't want to go on that well. Whether it's because there's a bit of paint block there or the holes are too small, but it wants to, but it can't. There we go. If you've got to kind of push this together a bit as well. Right, so that's going to come off in a sec anyway. So we need 2 B-type screws. I think it's going to be easier if I just take the camera out a bit and in. Right. So let's focus on getting this in, and then I can't. Yes, I can. So I was about to say I can't figure out which holes of these is a screw hole. Now, that now explains. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right, so I had the whole assembly on upside down because I was confused about the see, I'm not convinced that's on properly. One, two, three. That hole. That's better. So I actually had it on wrong, guys. I was trying to put it there, fairly central, but it wants to go in a bit more, and that will then leave the room on this side to do the opposite boom. Right, so that's a lot easier. So what that hole there is for, I do not know, but this is things that I'm asking all the time, and then all of a sudden we'll get you a part in the future and we'll go, oh yes. So I'm just getting this screw on. Is that a spare part? No, I can't. I've only got the one hand free because I'm holding this piece on. There we go. Right, so I've got that one in enough to bite, and then I'll put the other screw on, and that can go in all the way, and that's in. Lovely job. Lovely job. Right, so that's that stage complete. So what's this from? Did that come from this issue? This is the ladder bracket, so this is obviously needed for a later stage, but yes, it does. It has this 4 C screws and this piece listed as leftover pieces. So issue 64 is looking pretty much exactly identical, but for the other side. So I'll see how I'll have to adjust the camera angle, because obviously we like to do a parts checklist. Well, I like to do a parts checklist. So stage 64, the left boom reel, and we are looking for the boom reel part A and B, which are these parts, and that looks the same as before, but there's a bit more texture detail on there. What have I just, there we go. Next we want the ladder guide, which looks like the piece we got from the previous issue, but I'm going to keep it separate. This is the piece in the last issue, but this is the one from this issue. Type C and Type B screws, so I'm just going to pop those to one side. We have a reel motor. That looks interesting. A little bit of detail on there. Danger to death. Danger of death. We have a reel bracket. And we have a bearing shaft and a reel motor controller. So there's the bearing shaft. So these are parts that we're expecting. This is a little bit extra. So there's, I did just see some detail. Oh no, it's just, that's how it is. No detail, just paint. Right, so these are going as expected. We want, oh, they're not going together. Let me check. Right, so we want the smaller circle on the inside to go onto the non-detailed side on there, or put the two flat surfaces. That's then going to go onto there, or no, it's going detailed side out. Then we want to put, let me check, identify the larger and smaller holes in the reel bracket, then align the notch side of the reel with a larger hole as follows. As shown above, fit the parts together. Align the flat notch on the reel motor with a notch in the reel. So let me have a look for these notches. Right, so there's the notch in the reel, and this piece has a notch. So we are going to, that's not fitting. That is, oh, it's on the opposite side, sorry. So that's going in. Right, let me just go backtrack a bit because, right, yes, I had that the wrong way round. So that goes into there. I can see the notches there, so I need to roughly align this. And what I'm going to do is just, oh, it went in first time, but I was just going to have to align it and keep moving it until it drops in. So once that's in, we drop the shaft in on the other side, and that's going to lock that into place, looking nice. And then take the reel motor controller and push it into place on the bracket. So there we go. So we've got a hole there with a flat end. This is going to go into there. So obviously that's not even nearly staying. So going to have to get some glue, I'm afraid, guys. I have used almost an entire tube of glue on this part work. Don't need a lot of glue, so I'm just going to dot the ends. Make sure you know where the flat end is. Lovely. There we go. Right, so we need to align the pins. Let's move this down. We kind of know what we're doing now, don't we? So that's going to go keep checking. Right, I'm going to have to move this up, which means I'm going to have to move the camera, and I've lost a lens on the spotlight. There's a lens come out of there. Right, so that's going that away and onto there, and that will be attached with a single B-type screw, and I know that's the right way because this motor comes out to one side. So B-type screw, there's a few in the bag and I'm only needing the one. There we go, that's in place. That's lovely, that's looking really good. Right, and that is the end of that stage. So we've got these screws left over and another one of these pieces. So the next two issues are going to be the same. Let me just have a very quick look for that lens cover. It will turn up. Although saying that, having a look at them, I don't, let me give you a close look. So you can see there's the one that's in there. That one is missing. I'm really not going to lose any sleep over it. If it turns up, it should be on the desk somewhere because this hasn't moved anywhere. And if not, I can always cut a piece of acrylic and shape it myself. Right, so 65 is the left side of the aerial lower midsection, and as explained at the beginning, 66 is going to be the right side. So pretty much whatever we do in this issue, this stage, we will do in the next stage. So we begin with the part section. This is the lower midsection. We have a stop plate, which I think is this. And then we have screws C and screws I. Okay. So we need to take the lower midsection part and locate the fixing point for the stop plate, which is going to be there, and that's a circle with a little notch in it, and we are going to pop, there's a tab on there, and we need to place that the correct way round. No, that was definitely that way, and that just doesn't quite want to fit, so that's going to be a bit of a job, isn't it? Right, I think the problem is there's a bit of flash on the end there, so I have to take my glasses off for this. Just going to have to look for any rough bits. I don't want to take so much off that it becomes a loose fit. Oops. Right, okay. Whenever I say, oh, this looks easy, you know something's going to happen. This is obviously made to be fairly precise, and then they go and slap a load of paint on it. That's almost going. That's almost in. Do I push this and risk breaking the tab off? No. So I'm going to give it a gentle file. Basically, I've just filed the paint off. There we go. That's a really nice tight fit. Happy with that. Happy, happy, happy. Right, and that is the stage complete. So stage 66, can we guess? Oh, there's a few extra parts. And there's one piece and one bag of goodies. So we have got the boom extender, a water pipe bracket and a stop plate. So let's see if we have better luck with this stop plate. That's the water pipe bracket, and that is the stop bracket. So that stop bracket is going to go there, flat bit. I think this is pretty much going to be the same. Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. That really did try to go in. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to take the paint off the tab. Be very careful. So because it almost went in, I'll just try taking paint off the flat bit. Do a comparison. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that almost went in. Very, very nearly. I'm actually worried if I take any more paint off, it might become a little bit too loose. But I'm can always put paint on, glue on if it's, I don't like gluing these push fits, but sometimes it becomes necessary. Right, that's in, and that's just right, that's very stiff. You could pull that out, but it would be about as easy as getting it in. Okay, so next we want to take that is the right way. Right, so we want to take the water pipe bracket, align that over the screw hole, and that's going to face outwards. Do you know what? That's surprised. Oh, I see. That's not a circle, that's a circle with a flat end, and that's going to stop that from rotating. So we're going to need a C-type screw. So I use this one because it's the last one in that particular bag. So with our C-screw ready, on the opposite side we're just going to screw that in. That's trying hard to rotate, but I'm trying harder to stop it. There we go, that's in. Right, so next we want to line up the assembled lower midsection from this stage and the previous stage. The long hollow sides face each other. Basically it's going to make an L shape. If you imagine that as an L, the two sticky out bits are going to go together just like that. And that needs to be screwed in with two eye screws. One there, one there. And we only have the two. Now I'm not sure if this screwdriver will fit in that hole, but there's only ever one way to find out. Right, that's in. I've only put that in a little bit, you know me, just enough to bite. And that does go in. Right, so plastic into plastic, so we let it tell us. That was just ever so slightly too big. So we let it tell us when it's in enough, and that is stage complete, guys. Fantastic. Bear with me one sec because I've lost track of the issue numbers. That is it. So that's going to be it for this magazine. So guys, wonderful. So that's what we've made in this issue. The next issue, the next video is going to be a three-parter. The reason it's a three-parter is that we're making something else to go with this, and then we're going to add all of that onto the actual truck. Let's have a little bit of a play, shall we? Is that going into there? I don't want to put that in there because there's a little stopper. But that looks like it's going to do something like that, isn't it? Anyway, so that's gone together really nicely, and that's 4 issues in half-an-hour video. That's really, really good for me. You know how I can waffle on. So that's half of pack 10 done. Pack 11 we've already done. That was the diorama. Pack 12 is the final pack. So the end is in sight, guys. Wow, we are nearly there. It's been a tough build, but I will be doing a recap right at the end. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next video, which will be out next week, when we will be working on the aerial upper midsection. Take care, guys. Bye bye.